Well, welcome back to another episode of the Pod at ROLC. We have missed you. We've been gone all summer.
I know. We've been busy.
We had a couple episodes that went out, and there were actually some live streamed episodes.
Cool.
One was the mental health.
So we
day.
did all the staff.
Yep.
Of how to serve in the church.
Yep.
Cool. And then we did a mental health one with some counselors and doctors and things.
Yep. So that was a cool episode.
I loved that one.
Yeah, me too.
So
it was
that's probably been my favorite so far.
But now we're back live.
I know. I'm so excited.
And it's not the normal set that they see.
The people have missed us.
They have missed you, probably.
I paid them to say that in the comments.
Right. Well, we are coming to you live from my in-laws' house. And so if you know us well enough, then you know where we are. But
where are we? Where are we? People may not know.
They may not.
Are you going to dox your in-laws?
Maybe. Drop their address just right here. Just like pull up, whatever. No, we're at our in-laws' house, or my in-laws' house. And it's just easier to do it here today because we have such awesome guest speaker with us today. And I'm so looking forward to tomorrow morning.
Me too.
So we're filming this Saturday of Ladies Conference. So Friday night was awesome. This morning was
incredible.
I wasn't there for it. You were there for part of it for a little bit.
It was so good.
And it's been a great weekend. And so, but we have Pastor Jamie Bates with us, and she'll be preaching tomorrow morning for us. And I am so looking forward to that. But we are so glad that you're here.
Thank you.
Welcome to Arkansas. Welcome to middle of nowhere, kind of.
First time in Arkansas, right?
Well, I've been to Hot Springs.
Okay.
But that was like for,
Yeah, and Hot Springs is very different than most of the state.
I'm really digging this area.
Yeah.
I really like it. Yeah, and I really like you guys.
Yeah, that's good. We
I feel like we're getting close, really close, really fast.
So now you're just going to be family. And
yeah, Ohana, 100%.
Come up.
That's right. That's honestly like we get to travel and do all these things, and sometimes like living here because like even on the drive-in, there's just not a lot around here. It's kind of small town, but then we travel and go, and I'm like, I really like where I live. I like getting back
on the
home.
Drive here. Wendy and I were like, this is amazing. Like, I wish the house was a half hour away. We could just drive more.
Honestly.
It's so nice.
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's beautiful.
I love
But well, we are so glad that you are here.
you.
Thank you for
Honored to be here.
being with us this weekend.
Sure.
This is fantastic. And so kind of what we wanted to do today, and I'm just going to kind of let Mikala lead a little bit more on this since you've spent more time with Pastor Jamie. But, on this thought today is that, you've came here, you and your husband are pastors in the Dallas area. You guys have 3 campuses, correct?
Oak Cliff, Frisco. Yep, 3.
Okay. I forgot you had the Oak Cliff campus.
Yeah.
That is for whatever reason, anytime that we've been to Dallas and we've been to church on a Sunday,
in the Oak Cliff area.
we're always in Oak Cliff,
Serious?
or we go
Yeah.
like we went to
Really?
one of the Trinity campuses, and that was in Oak Cliff, and
Well, ACF&I is near Oak Cliff.
Yeah.
right,
So
just
that's
right there,
Yeah.
and so I guess it's like our hub of
come
I would
visit
like,
us.
I would
Come to
like
the Dream
to
Center.
try other areas.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
right. So you guys started up
Yep.
Dream Center in Dallas. So last summer. I went on my first missions trip ever last summer.
Serious?
And we went to Dream Center Los Angeles, went to LA.
Amazing.
Oh my goodness.
The best.
It was like a bucket list for me. Like, I know that's weird.
It's
because
life-changing.
People were like,
Yeah.
shouldn't
Insane.
a bucket list be like where you travel and vacation from? And I was just like,
I love it.
I want to go to
Who
the
needs
LA
Turks
Dream
and
Center.
Caicos when you
Yeah.
have the LA Dream Center?
It was basically the same thing. There was no AC in the building, all the things.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah, nobody told it. I was not expecting that. Our missions pastor, we
It's
get
real.
there.
It's real life.
And
Yep.
there, you were there, right, Caden? And there was like 8 of us guys packed in a room smaller than this.
Yep.
And like, it's hot in here. They're like, yeah, open your window. Like, what do you mean? There no air conditioning? No air
We
conditioning.
don't do that in the South. Yeah, we don't
but-
open windows.
But what a life-changing week, though.
Oh,
it was beautiful.
We went to MacArthur Park and got to serve there. A lot of our students went with us, and so
Yeah.
it was really cool for them. But man, what a week! So we'll have to
Yeah.
come to Dallas and
Yes.
sit
Yeah,
down there
please
for
do.
sure.
Yeah.
That'd be
You
great.
love it.
We can take a
Yes.
group of students for
The
sure.
LA Dream Center blessed us to do Dallas. And so every year, one of the Barnett, like either Pastor Tommy Barnett or Pastor Matthew Barnett, I think Pastor Matthew's sister-in-law is coming this time, and they've just stamped approval on us, which ministries don't do.
Right.
Because ministries hold things tightly, and there's egos involved, and there's the Dream Center is the most pure, beautiful organization. All they care is that people get touched.
I love that.
And they just gave us their name and said, go for it.
That's
and
awesome.
I just can't say enough about the Barnetts.
Yeah.
And our Dream Center is taken off.
That's great.
It's powerful.
I love it.
That's awesome.
I love it. Let's do it. Let's get down there and do it. So,
I know.
But today, what I want to talk about in this episode, and I know that Mikala has some questions, even from just like this morning's leadership session that you kind of want to dive into a little bit. But I wanted to kind of ask you maybe some questions on maybe just next generation of leadership and what some of these things kind of look like. The first time that I think that Mikala and I both got introduced to you was at a youth camp.
Yes.
Never heard of you before, and you're just one of the guest speakers for the week and
Yeah.
show up, and so we're listening to you and just love you, and then we hear
thank you.
we hear Pastor Dustin, and so it's just like knowing that you guys are involved, that you get to see running multiple campuses
Yep.
from the youngest to the oldest.
Yes.
And also have a college.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
A leadership college.
Got a leadership college as well.
Yep. And so you guys have a much, I think, broader lens to see than maybe what we get to have here. And so today in this, I just kind of wanted to ask you some questions and have this conversation about, what does this next generation of leadership look like? Is it healthy? Is it headed in a good direction? Should we be concerned or worried, and all these things that are going on? And just kind of start these conversations a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
I love it. When I met you, you told me you were the youth pastor. I was like, oh, I would give anything. I love young people. I identify Gen Z. You can tell based on how I'm dressing. I'm like begging on baby. Like I'm just going to give opinions. This is not a prophetic word.
Yeah.
This is not a spiritual, I've not prayed about this. Just from what I'm seeing happening right now in this generation, I think Gen Z gets a really bad rap for being entitled and having poor work ethics. Yeah. And so was last generation. And so were millennials. And so was Gen X. Boomers were really hard workers. They might have been the last of us.
That was the end.
But I think what I'm seeing is first of all, revivals always are accompanied by young people getting on fire for God. We cannot, as a church, because I'm 45 now, so I'm getting up there. As a church, we cannot, as older people, pray for revival and not give a space for young people to be prioritized, to experience God, to be spoken to like they deserve. And so we have a huge mandate in our church that we champion young people. And what we have seen happening with this generation is that they're wild, they're unhinged, and they're going to change the world. I mean, if you can get them on fire for Jesus, they don't, I would take a messy teenager on fire than a 50-year deep religious Christian.
Amen.
Agreed.
Any day of the week, right?
The youth pastors say amen.
Yes,
Amen.
for real. What God can do with all the disciples were all young people except for Peter. I mean, look at David, look at Joseph, look at Moses wasn't, but Elijah I think Elijah was pretty young. I'm thinking of the greats in the greats in the Bible. They were all young. Mark was young. The writers of our Gospels were young. And so I think it's so easy as we get older to discount they're just entitled and bad work ethic. And it's we can disciple that out of anyone. Let's get them on fire. So we are seeing a move of God in our church right now. And our youth pastor, which I would love to connect you with him actually, Pastor Ryan Jemerson, he is just ushering in a move of God. And he speaks to them like adults. They aren't, it is a full-on presence of God service. They have the entire experience. I think we had, 400 kids last Wednesday. Wow. 400 kids showing up.
That's beautiful.
On a Wednesday night. They're almost in 2 services, and it is exploding. And it's only really, our youth pastor is amazing, and he's very surrendered, and he's done the hard work. And at the same time, God is just breathing on young people. He always will. So I just love it. I'd give anything to go back.
It's funny because we've been 10 years now that we've been in youth ministry, and have
you seen the changes?
Yeah, right. And so that's kind of the thing. It's now that we're at this point, because for the longest time, we started in this pretty much right out of high school, and so it's here I am trying to lift up somebody that's the same age as me.
Totally, your peer-to-peer ministry.
Yeah,
that's
hard.
hard.
Into that,
right?
But now it is this point of seeing young kids and these things, and it's just as crazy as it sounds, it's like, I trust some of you to carry the gospel. It's like,
Yes.
I see you in Jesus Clubs is something that has really been talked about a lot here lately. And a lot of our kids have just gotten a hold of it.
I love that.
And so like, I'm going to go back home and do it. And you know how it is. It's like, we'll see.
Yeah.
And we get back and we've had all these students and like, they went to their principals, they've wrote letters, they've
my
submitted these
goodness.
things, they've made it happen. And I'm just like,
What's really
you
crazy.
couldn't even show up to youth on time
Right.
before.
Yeah.
And now you're just like,
meeting
I'm
with
all in.
principals.
What's
Yeah.
really crazy too is like I've seen them get pushback from the principals, and whereas I think a different generation would have been like, okay, well that's our sign,
Yeah.
and they would have just given up.
Yes.
These
guys
kids,
won't. No, yeah.
like
what
they're
I'm saying,
CCing
yes.
me in on the emails, and I'm like, should you be saying that to your principal? Like I
Because
don't know.
they are so unhinged. I'm like,
Because-
what are you even saying? I don't
Yeah.
even. It's every week,
The lingo,
and they walk in.
the language. I'm like,
love it
chat,
so
please help me. What does this even mean?
Somebody
What
walked
does
in the
Riz
day,
mean?
and they were like,
What
"Yo,
does aura
Unc, you're
mean?"
cooked," and I'm just like,
Cooked,
"Dude, I am 30. What are you saying?" I'm 29. I was like, "What are we saying?"
What are you saying,
What are you
man?
saying?
I love
don't
cooked.
know.
Cooked,
Yeah,
cooked is
I
my
love it.
favorite right
It's
now.
like, what are we doing?
Oh,
But
man.
like they're when you get them on fire, they're
Oh.
unhinged in the best way
The
possible.
best way.
And so
They're
it's
gonna do
like,
it. Like-
I love the determination that they have right now.
Yes.
Of like we have a girl right now. Her school has nothing Jesus Club related. They don't have a Jesus Bible study,
Yep.
like nothing. And
Yeah.
she was like, she came back from camp this year and she was like, I'm gonna start something. And I was like, go.
Yes.
Like you have our support.
Yep.
Whatever you need from us, we are here.
Yep.
And so she texted us like a couple of weeks ago and she was like, are you busy on this Tuesday? Can you come speak at our Jesus Club? And I'm like,
She did it just
yes,
like that. Yeah.
like we will be there, whatever we need to do to support. And so I
So cool.
love that they are just
Yeah.
when they get on fire, they're unstoppable.
Yeah, we just got to get them on fire, and they got to they got to be in the presence of God.
Yes.
They got to encounter
Real.
God, real, and it's over.
Yep. And I think that would have been my next question on this is like, you know, we take this next generation, whether that is high schoolers or college age
Yep.
or, you know, middle 20s or whatever. What would you advise somebody that they really feel called to ministry, whether that is in a church, whether
Yep.
that is in a workplace? What are some things that you would think that would be like some good foundational things for some people to hold on to be like, if you can do this one thing, these three things, this will take you a long ways?
Somebody who wants to be in vocational ministry but isn't yet.
Sure.
You plant your booty in a local church
Amen.
and you serve it to death.
That's great.
Done.
Yep.
You serve it to death for free, like Kaden did.
That's right.
Like for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like I know your sister interviewed and got a great job. Like, so that happens sometimes, and good churches find good people.
Yeah.
But oof, especially if you want to be planted in the house where you were raised, like you serve, you care for people, you love your pastors, you protect your pastors, you don't gossip about your pastors, you don't get involved in drama, you put your head down and be about the movement.
Yes.
You know, because sometimes too, we can pastor worship. And we can be like, well, like we've had people tell us before, like, we'll go wherever you guys go.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we're not the thing here.
Yeah.
Like, we're in charge of this movement for now, but you need to be about the move. You need to be about the movement that God's like literally blessing in front of us. And so I think, like, I would say plan in a local church, serve that local church to death. And then, what was the other thing I was thinking of? Oh shoot! It just crossed my mind. I don't remember now.
I think it's a really good thing. While you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
on that there, that's something that we used to struggle with a lot here was when Pastor Mike or Pastor Christy would be gone for a week
Yep.
and they got called to go somewhere, especially like, let's go like pre-COVID time frame. If we announced it the week before,
Yeah,
the attendance,
low.
you know, we would just see this.
Yep.
And so they were like, we ain't tell nobody, you know? And so they would just, and now we've worked through that. And
Yes.
it's been an intentional thing for us of like, let's regularly let them see other
Other
people,
voices.
and
Yep.
it's okay.
Yes.
You're still going to be fed, because I think that is such a huge thing, and
Yep.
we
Yeah.
saw that firsthand 5-6 years ago. Of like I said, wherever my pastor goes,
Yep,
that's what I'm
that's where
doing.
I go.
I'm not committed to the church. I'm committed to this person. And like they say all the time, especially, you know, your dad, he's like, you know, I'm going to fail you. I'm just a man.
Yes.
Do not worship me. Do not place me someplace I don't belong, because I'm just doing the best I can for
I
what
think
God's
if people
telling me.
would get a hold of the thought of just serving the local church.
Oh man, there's so much power in it. Healing comes
love-
from it. It's selfishly I
Yes.
would serve if I was a pastor. I would selfishly serve the local church.
I love
Healing
the
comes,
local
friendships
church.
come,
Yeah.
community comes. Like, what do people do that aren't a part of a local church when you go through cancer?
I don't know.
Like, what do
Truly.
people do when you get in a car wreck? and you can't pay your, like, if you're not a part of a local church, like, and serving is the entrance to
Who
that.
brings you meals after you have a baby?
Yes.
Like,
The local church.
Yeah. And
Yes.
so it's just like, I mean, we've talked about
100%.
it so many times, and I'm like, I mean, I'm a PK. I've been in ministry my whole
Yeah.
life.
You've seen it all.
I've seen it all, the good, the bad, the ugly, the in between, all the things. But still to this day, I can stand and say, I just love the local church.
That is beautiful.
I love what
Wow.
God does at
Yes.
the local church because that's his heart.
Yes.
I mean, and if people could grab a hold of just serving the local church, I think it would like dismiss at least 80% of our problems.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah, for sure.
there wouldn't be all the drama. There
Yep.
wouldn't be, you know, all the things that happen and all the things. It's just like, just get in here and serve.
Yeah. Yes. And serving can look like 1,000 things.
Yeah.
Find your gift. Know your gift mix. Don't like, and please, can I just say this for Pastor Mike and Pastor Christy? Don't say you have a teaching ministry.
Yeah. I can hear them right now.
You
They're saying
might.
Amen.
You might have a teaching ministry.
Yeah.
But the way to get on the stage and the platform is not to say you have a teaching ministry when you won't go work in the nursery.
Oh, come on.
It's just you gotta, like, you work your way up anywhere else. And honestly, the platform is not the up.
Yeah.
That's not
Right.
where you really
Yeah.
want to be. Really.
I was just talking.
There's a
last
lot that
night,
comes with that.
The guy that was just following you guys around, just basically just kind of security for you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
And
he was awesome.
him and I were sitting last night afterwards, and he was telling me, he was just like, I love doing this. He says, this is what I'm supposed to do. He says, I love serving pastors. I love at these events that I can just be a protector.
Yes.
That he's like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And he knows the word and all these things.
He could probably preach a sermon. Yep.
Anything. And he's rough and scary looking and the nicest guy. But he was like, this is what I was supposed to do.
Yes.
He says, I am fulfilled tonight.
How beautiful
We're
is
sitting there.
that?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you've got it figured out.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, this is all I want to
It
do.
is.
I just
And
wanna
you
serve.
guys will trust him
Yes.
with anything.
Absolutely.
You'll trust him.
Anything.
So and I'm not talking about, because I do know we have great churches. There are not good churches out there that really do abuse power.
Yes.
And I am very much aware of that. And we have people in our church that have been victims of that. And so I never want to be like, serve your local church and make that sound like you're servants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I serve my local church. Like, and so I'm not saying, like, you know, if pastors, which obviously your pastors are so amazing, like, they would never abuse it. And my husband and I would never either. But you do, if you are under leadership that you can trust, like, there's nothing I wouldn't do. Like, for my personal pastors, there's nothing I wouldn't do for them.
Yeah.
And I get blessed.
Yes.
It's honestly so reciprocal. Like, I'm safer in the house of God.
Amen.
I really am. My kids are safer in the house of God. Like, I just,
Yeah.
I love it. It's been hard at times, but I love it.
On
Like
this
for you, I'm
thought
sure.
of some of these things, is like, you know, maybe some things to look out for. I think that, you know, we've done this long enough now. I feel that I've watched a lot of students, they graduate high school, they get to college, and maybe they do get in a church, or that they are attending for a little bit, and then I see them fall away, or I see them
Yeah,
get really
so hard.
burned or hurt by something within a church.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for this generation that's coming up, that we know that before we know it, they're going to be the ones preaching the gospel,
Yes.
and already are?
Yep.
They're
They're going to be the youth pastors for your kids.
Exactly. And maybe some things to look out for, or to be on guard for, or some common, maybe trending things that you're seeing right now that it's like, hey, be careful of this, watch out for that, as just kind of some things of like,
Yeah.
hey, be careful in these areas of life.
I think hero worship is a real problem in the church. I think, especially if you're young people, it's so easy to attach. It happens with my husband a lot. A lot of men that weren't fathered well are really drawn to him, and they make him an idol, and his voice an idol. He's just a great preacher. He's anointed. He's great. I'm not
Sure.
Right,
minimizing what you're great, babe. But they put him on this platform, and then when he can't have lunch, it's over.
Yeah.
God's not good. You never cared about me. It has to be you and Jesus first. And people, but I do always say this too, like, the enemy uses, which we know the enemy uses people to hurt people, but God uses people to heal
Yes.
people. And so the hard part, I've been hurt by the church. I can imagine being a PK. I've only been in this for 17 years, and I've been hurt, talking stabbed, bloody, wounded, like bleeding out multiple times. But I'm still coming back.
Yeah.
because I believe in the local church, and I don't think anybody should subject themselves to like the abuse. Obviously, sometimes pastors are more abused than anyone, but I do think that like if we can be really careful with the hero worship, and like if my pastor doesn't meet with me, then I don't have a relationship with God. Or it's like I was talking about this morning, like David strengthened himself when he lost everything in Ziklag. Like he knew how to strengthen himself in the Lord. And mentors and pastors play such a crucial role, but I think when we make them our God and don't know God for ourselves, then the moral failures this year across the body of Christ are numerous. Like those churches are like hanging on by threads.
Yes.
And it's so, because like good people have moral failures. Good people get tired and burnt out and make a bad mistake. Like nobody goes into pastoring wanting to be rich or trying to screw somebody over. Like you go in with the best intentions, and people get tired, or they don't have mentorship, or they don't have accountability. But I think red flags would be really like the hero worship. Like make sure you're in it for the right reasons, not because you want attention, not because you want a platform, not because you want accolades, but because like your security guy, like I just born to do this, right? Like that is so pure, and he's going to have massive impact in his life doing that, because he just knows who he is. He knows what he has to offer, and he's offering it. Yep. And I think the other thing too is like, know who you are. Yeah. Because so many people, like we see this a lot, because my husband is so amazing. He's very charismatic. He's very prophetic. He's very loud. And so a lot of the times people will try and imitate his style. And you can't, there's only one you. I am not Pastor Tracy. And that's very clear if you hear the two of us talk. That was the other speaker at our women's conference. And we're both anointed and great.
Yes. Right.
You have to know who you are. And so if you always feel like, oh, I'm not as good as Pastor Tanner, or I could never lead the church like Pastor Mike, or I could never connect with people like Pastor Christy, or I'm not friendly, or I don't sing the voice of an angel. I don't sing like Pastor Mikala, or if I don't, it's just that thing gets in your head, and then you just start faking it. Yeah. And authenticity always, or anointing always falls on authenticity. Anointing's not going to fall on a fake you. And so you figure out who you are. What are your gifts? Not what you want your gifts to be. Because I would love to be a worship leader. And you do not want to hear me sing Worthy of It All. You do not. And so really assess who is God made me to be. And then I think hero worship, I don't know, what do you guys see too? What are I like this question because I haven't really thought about that one a lot.
No, I think that everything that you're hitting on there is really good things, especially towards the end there of talking about wanting to be somebody else or different things. And what I see a lot is that they want to be like their friends, even though that they're not anything. Like I think of one student right now that we have, and like he is totally like not this person at all, but he will. Are you familiar with Big Red Boots?
I think so.
That's literally
like
what they are. They're
like
just these super
Mario.
tall. They look like Mario boots.
Oh, then no, I'm not. No.
They are.
I was thinking like the cowboy brand or something.
They are the craziest looking. They're like foam. They are crazy.
Oh, no.
And so he walks into youth with these on, and I'm just like, "What are you doing?" He was like, I got these. I'm like, why?
You spent money?
He's like, like I saw, so-and-so on TikTok or whatever. And I was like, you're going to get beat up for wearing those, It's like, get those off your feet. But, I think that we do see a lot of that. I just see a lot of people being easily persuaded by other people of what they're doing and just looking for acceptance. And I think that that's probably where the root of a lot of this comes from is who can I be accepted by in that group. We've recently just had to shut down our bathrooms in youth because we've had a group of girls and that one girl has a vape. And so then they all want to go in the stall together and they all want to, and so there's $1,000 fine now that I've told them.
Okay, yeah.
Am I going to hold up to it?
Totally won't. But the threats we make as youth pastors, we got to make them. You got to look serious when you say it.
One of our local schools, though, put into effect this year that if they were caught vaping or smoking on school property, they get expelled and they have $1,000 fine. Oh, wow. And so I was like,
that's no joke.
We're taking it. So I was like, if you get caught, it's $1,000 fine, and you have to pay to Kingdom Builders, and that's
that's perfect.
Like we have. So it's like.
But I've asked them, I was like, why are you doing that? Because some of these
they don't really want to vape.
They've been around for a long time. Like, why are you doing this?
What?
I'm like, well.
So and so does it.
Yeah.
And so I think that for us, that's just really a thing. And I think something else too is that it's easy to chase the shiny. This new church, this
Yep.
new organization, this new pastorate, this new youth
Movement.
this
Yep.
new youth group or whatever. And
100%.
we just
Adults do that.
exactly they learn it from somebody, and so they
Touche.
just lunge and go, and it's just like it goes right back to the beginning of what you said. Find your home. I had a student last Wednesday night. I don't even told you this. His parents are divorced, so he's been going to another church. This is his first time here on a Wednesday night, and he said, "Hey, Pastor," he's Tanner, right? So yeah, and he says, "Is it sinful that I go to 2 different churches because I'm at church with my dad these weeks, but I really like being here?
What a sweet
Is
guy.
that sinning if I go to 2 different places?" And I was just like, just get in somewhere.
Get in
Be
the door.
somewhere that's preaching
Yes.
the word, preaching the Bible.
Yep.
Say get in there. If you love it here, that's great. If you can't be here all the time, that's okay too.
Yeah.
But just find somewhere that you love
So
and
good.
be there. And I think
Yes.
that's really good on that.
Yep.
Any thoughts from you on this
No,
that you
it's-
see there?
It's great.
And the shiny isn't shiny when you get to the shiny, is it?
It never is.
It's the least shiny.
Yeah.
It's weird how it looks shiny, though, isn't
Oh,
it?
it's we literally just went kind of through the season in life where we thought that there was a shiny and started looking at the shiny, and then we realized that like maybe this isn't quite what we thought it was, and it was really hard
Yes,
because you know we
yeah.
preach this every week to be aware of these things, and it's just like, is this? Is it not?
But also things that we've learned, and I think other people would learn it, is that since we said no, our youth group has exploded in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like,
We had record numbers that next week.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
you know, and so it's like when you're
Yeah.
faithful and you're obedient,
But we cried about it for
Even-
7 days leading up to it. And
Sure,
It's like, whoa, we just.
yeah.
I was like, we just had record numbers tonight. We didn't do anything
and at
different.
first we were like, okay,
you
yeah,
just said no to a shiny.
and we
but-
didn't recognize it until a couple weeks later. Like, we did nothing different.
That's powerful, honestly.
I know. And so like it took us
stayed
like
in
a
the
week
grind.
afterwards of like realizing, and I was like, oh, because he's called us to be faithful and obedient,
Yes.
and we've not heard another.
Yep. You got to stay with the
So
word. And,
I'm
yep.
staying here. Like I have to be planted here, and so. And it was like for the 3 weeks now we've had record numbers.
Wow.
We had 12 salvations last
Oh
week.
my
in youth.
goodness.
You know, like those are numbers that I'm like,
That God is moving
We've
for real
not
on the earth
seen
right now
that.
in this generation.
Yes.
This is wild.
Yes.
they're hungry.
12.
I have other friends in the area that I'm close with, a couple other youth pastors.
Yeah.
And I've just been reaching out to them, and they're like, it's the same thing. They said,
Yeah.
in this generation right now, like God is just moving, and it's happening,
Yeah.
and it's a beautiful thing. So
It is.
my
I knew
goodness.
you had a couple questions that
incredible.
you wanted
Yeah,
to ask Pastor
so-
Jamie.
I
I'll let
love
you-
talking youth.
It's fun. It is our heart. It's what we've done for 10 years.
I love
I know.
it, guys.
And I keep having moments of like, do I really want to show up and hang out with 14-year-olds again?
Do I want them to really judge me on everything I'm doing or wearing?
Yeah. Or your terminology. Or
Yeah, they
Oh.
roast. What did I say? Hey, you're really in there.
It's
That-
the 6-7.
that new whatever 6-7 thing, and I was saying, I was just like going
oh, the
off
6-7. Oh, yeah.
I was-
My
you were
kids do
talking
this.
about
Yeah.
a
Do you do it with the
guy-
dialect, right? Like 6-7 or something?
No,
like
they
that?
all do.
Well, so he was talking about a guy that he knows, and he was like, I think he's like,
I was like, he's like
he's
6'6"
like
or 6'7".
6'7", you know,
All
and
60 kids.
Just bust up.
6'7". We're done.
and I was like, oh, we're
Shut
not
up.
coming back from this.
No, just got to
Yeah,
own
it's
it.
good. But go ahead.
That's so good. But one more thing about the shiny, you
Yes,
know, I always
yeah.
say like greatness doesn't go on sale
Mm.
and influence doesn't come cheap. And people see you guys getting a platform, right? Or getting a position. They don't know how many birthday parties you've been to, how many stinking camps you've slept apart so because you had to be with the boys. They don't know the hours that you were the janitor at the church. They don't know you don't see, but that's what builds greatness. You got to pay what it costs. And it costs the ugly stuff. It really does. And so, I mean, I wish it wasn't, but it is. I mean, wouldn't you guys agree?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It costs something. And if you're not willing to pay it, you won't get it.
Won't get it.
Because God anoints faithful people with whom much, what is the verse? Like much is entrusted or much is required? Or no, what's the other one? Is there another verse about him like trusting us with something? Or maybe that was it. I don't know. Either way, it's there somewhere.
Yeah.
Read
we
the
don't-
Bible.
Read the Bible.
If we don't think of it, just edit this part out.
Yeah. Or just put it in as like a text.
Yeah, just
Here's the
roll
verse.
it right across the bottom.
The person
here.
who came to teach the Bible did
Yeah.
not know the verse.
That's good.
So one of the things that you talked about this morning, and I think that for all of you that weren't at Ladies Conference, you missed out, and you need to get signed up for next year.
Yes.
But I just want to say first and foremost, thank you for that word. Like,
Oh,
it
thank
was
you.
beautiful.
Oh,
And it was
you're
exactly,
welcome.
I think, not only what I needed, but what I feel like so many women in the room needed. You said at one point, like, I felt the heaviness
Yeah.
in the room. And
Yeah.
truly, you could.
Yeah.
Like, it was
palpable.
like,
Yeah.
God is really, like, touching the hearts of the tears that people have cried.
Yes.
We're planting them. Now, God, do your work.
Yes.
But one of the things that you talked about was wrestling with the tensions of God.
Yes.
And you talked about how you went through a difficult season,
Yep.
and that was one of the things that you really struggled with.
Yeah.
And coming from someone that, like, I feel that is in a difficult season of those tensions with
Yes.
God, of like, it's okay to ask those questions.
Yep.
When you were like, I think God would rather us come to him and, like, be angry and ask the questions, or even cuss him out if you have to, before you come to him with religious
Yes.
actions.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
it's
hallelujah.
like,
Yeah.
I think if people could get a hold of that, of like,
So it's life changing.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just like journeying through God's work, realizing
Yep.
that
Yes.
is
Yep.
the key.
That's
That
the key
is-
to a relationship, to intimacy with him.
Yes. Can you just, like, maybe just speak on that for just a
for
little
sure.
bit of, like,
I'm really passionate about the tension because I was raised not due to my parents or my church. I wouldn't even say raised. I just somehow bought into the whole thing. Like, you go to church, you be perfect, right? And then as a youth, like, you just don't have sex before marriage, and you sign the thing and get your purity ring, and then it's all good from there. Like, oh my God.
trauma.
I cannot get started on that one. But that was what it is to me, Christian
Yes.
life, And I was never really, I never experienced the permission to have it out with God over stuff. And it took me going through a couple really difficult seasons where I would say I had a faith crisis. This is how I put it. I always knew God was real because I've seen enough, like my husband says, like, he couldn't be an atheist if he tried. Like, I've seen enough. I know God's real. This was my trouble, is I didn't know if I liked him. And that was hard place to be. And so my instinct, our default, always goes to hide, right? It's Adam and Eve in the garden, like, put on the fig leaves. So the default goes to just, like, hide. Don't tell Dustin, because he would be so alarmed, because the man has never had a doubt in his life. Like, he's the gift of faith. I'm sure he has, but he has the gift of faith. Like, he will believe for anything. And so I'm like, just pretend like you're not struggling with these thoughts and doubts, and just fake it. The minute you start faking it with God or with the church, it's over. Your soul just starts to dwindle.
Yeah.
And then you get mad at the church, and then you get mad at God, and then you deconstruct. And it all starts with a lie we believe, that we cannot hold the tensions of who we believe God to be and the experience that we're living.
Yeah.
And sometimes, honestly, they don't add up.
Right.
They don't. Will they? Yes. But they don't in the real time. And so when I felt the freedom to come to God, like David, I was saying this morning, like, David has the worst theology in the Psalms. It is just hilarious.
But we love him.
But we love him most of the time. And God loved him.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. It's like, he says, he never said that about Paul, and Paul had perfect theology. I mean, the man who wrote Romans 8 didn't get a man after God's own heart label, but David did, who asked for his enemies' children to be bashed against rocks? Children? Like, children murder? And he's the man after God. What does that tell us? It's that God is desperate for us to hold those tensions with him. And I think that the church, not ours, because our churches are great, but like the church as a whole has done a disservice in telling people, just lift your hands, say hallelujah, read your Bible and pray, and just everything will be fine. It won't be fine. Life is so hard. It's so hard. And we have to be able to come to God and say, like, I want them to die. Dustin gets so mad when I say this. He's going to hate this. I'm so sorry, bro. I know you hate it when I say this, but if David can say it, but this is an extreme example for what we feel sometimes, that we don't feel like we can ever voice because we have to be like these perfect standard Christians. What we don't realize is that the thing to actually make us, quote unquote, perfect, good Christians is to bring the ugly junk, is to be like, I want them dead, and I want them dead tomorrow, God.
You hear me?
You hear me right now? And then what happens? I release it. I forgive. It's over. I don't want them dead. Yeah. I just have to go to some place where I can just be gritty and real and raw. And as much as I give David a hard time, like he modeled it for us. And he was the guy God loved. So I think, does that answer the question?
Yes.
Just the
Yeah.
the tension is, so we cannot ignore the tension.
Yeah.
Because when we ignore the tension, it just leads us down this spiral of faking, and then our soul starts to wither, and then we get mad at God and people.
Which I think goes back
And leave.
to this generation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ultimately,
Mm-hmm.
like we probably about 5 years ago, we walked through a season in our youth group where we had 2 murders,
Oh my.
1 suicide.
Oh, guys.
It was just
Oh.
it
I
was
mean, it was all within like 6 months of a school year.
Oh, that's an onslaught.
it was
Oh my goodness. That makes me so
Awful.
sad.
The
Like-
local schools were just like calling. They're like, "Hey, can you?" I wasn't even
Oh,
full time. I was
man.
still working part time, and they was just like, "Hey,
we just need you on school
can you just be at the
campus."
camp? We're shutting down
Yeah,
classes.
like
you can just."
they would just call us in. They wanted us there, you know. But the heaviness
word.
that it felt like settled into our youth ministry
Yeah.
was these kids that were coming in that like they were best friends with this guy,
Yeah.
or they were friends with this girl, or whatever it may be. And so it was like this oppression that
Yeah.
just like settled.
Yep.
And when we realized that it was like, we need to have the hard conversations. So we just like opened up service one
Yeah.
night and we were like, ask the questions.
Yeah. And they will.
Oh, and they
Adults
did.
won't. Well, not all. But
know,
youth
it's-
will.
it's
Youth will
like,
bring it.
Tell
Get
me
ready.
what you want.
Yes.
What do you want to know?
So
I may not
good.
have the questions.
Yes.
I may not have the
Yep.
answers, but like I
Get it
can
out.
point you to the one who does.
Yes.
And you getting this out
So good.
will also cause this relationship and this relationship to be so vulnerable and so,
So
real
good.
that it's like now you can be real with God.
Yep.
And so from then on, it was like this
Shift.
that happened that it was like,
Especially when you get in people's heads, like he already knows your thoughts anyways.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
Just get it out there.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
honestly. He knows what you're thinking
Wow,
before
that's
you
powerful.
think it. So,
definitely.
yeah.
But yeah, anything else that you?
I think that's it.
Questions on that one.
I
there?
really enjoy getting to know you guys and talking to you.
was so
Thank
much
you for
fun.
having me
Great.
on.
Thank you so much.
I hope we stay Ohana.
Yes.
Bam.
You guys
I
can
love your
keep up
church.
with your Summer I Turn Pretty episodes. You
know.
can
We've been outed.
You-
We've been
you
outed.
can-
Connie, baby.
you can stay updated on that.
Keep us updated.
You'll have to come back.
Do you want me
Yeah.
to call in?
Episode.
Want me to call in next
Yeah,
Thursday morning?
Yeah.
We'll do a
The first
FaceTime,
10
like-
Mikala and I
minutes.
just do our own Summer I Turn Pretty podcast, like a
Exactly.
one-off.
Right.
Next Thursday.
And then you can answer the comments about people who are like, I can't believe that you.
I know
were-"
it's so bad.
Whatever.
I know,
But
it's so bad to each their
but no,
own.
Pastor Jamie, thank you
Each their
so
own.
much.
You are so welcome. Thank you.
For making time to do
Yes.
this. I know you got a crazy busy
sure.
schedule while you've been here, but thank you so
So
much for
happy
being
to.
on with us. This has been awesome, and I just want to say to those of you that have been watching or listening, however it is that you're getting this, thank you so much for continuing to support the channel. As always, make sure that you are liking, sharing. YouTube is our #1 platform, so if you're on Apple or Spotify, get off of it. Go to
No
YouTube.
way.
Give
Apple
us
all the way,
no.
baby.
Give us our views. We need our views. No, but thank you for being a part of this, and it's been a beautiful episode, and we'll catch you on the next one. So thanks for watching.
Thanks, y'all.